good morning, folks. Back on site at the job site. We got a bunch of work that I'm here to check up on. They got to do. You can hear the tree trimming in the background. They're going to finish that up today, and they're actually taking out another tree that's blocking that wall across the street. So we're going to check out that and see what other progress is going on. So before we do that, let's take a quick glance at our sky and do our daily weather check. A little cloudy, but we're hoping it looks like the rain's trying to come in, but we've had a really good string of weather lately, so we're hoping that that weather luck just continues to hang on. So let's head out over the building and see what's going on. Okay. Here, see how big the roots are. And these guys are actually worked on this the last couple of days, 2 or 3 days. Not so much here, but on both sides. We're using the same tree tree crew for this here, and you can see how big the roots are, and you can see where the this fence post is going to be in the way. So they've started to dig out the area around it, and you can hear the chainsaw in the background. So let's go ahead on and see what they're doing on my side of the street. Right off the bat, you can see the plastering guys. That crew is still at it, man. Those guys are moving along at a great pace. Glad to hear it. Trying to keep out of these guys' way here. See, they got their tools spread out here in the garage. They're cutting that rebar. Taking ties for fence posts. Not gonna get too close, man, because the noise is really loud on this chainsaw. You can see the branches that they're cutting here now. Talked to the foreman of the tree crew about cleaning up some of these cuts, because unbelievable, man, the way they did all this with the machete. The guys just, man, they went up that tree like it was nothing, and they went ahead and used the machete, and they cut all these huge things. I mean, it just shows you these guys didn't have that chainsaw on site till today. And so the chainsaw, I'm surprised, because I figured they would haul it up there and use that chainsaw to cut. But they did it all by hand. So it's just amazing. I mean, to be able to work without those tools, and it brings you back to the frontier days. I mean, the way that these guys would work with their axes and shovels, and in this case, their machetes. But it's just amazing. Every time I see the stuff there, and I think about how tough it would be for me to climb up that tree with a machete, I just have to laugh to myself. I mean, even in my younger days, I still laugh. This whole area I'm looking at right now is going to be extended out. We had a question, one of the subscribers had asked a question about, let me get inside the house here, had asked about the size of the house in size, and it keeps changing, because I mean, this area alone is going to add another 24 or so square meters to the, not 24, but I'm sure it'll add another 5 or 10 meters out to the house build itself. So they ask about costs on square meters. And my answer to that would be, let me get out of that noise. My answer to that gentleman would be the actual cost would be somewhere in the high 20s to low 30s for cost to build on the square meter on a house out here in the Philippines, if you want it built to American standards. And that's if you're putting down a high quality roof, high quality tile. I mean, the windows are your big windows, air cons, tile, big players in your overall cost. Let's sit down and talk about that. One of the things that I was really amazed about, I had the misconception that things were cheaper in the Philippines, and they are in a lot of things, but a lot of things are not. I mean, the thing that's going to be cheaper is going to be your rent, water bills, your utilities in general. So that's going to be cheaper. So let me find a spot here that we can see the plastering guys here working away. Already did the outside. Morning, guys. This crew's all involved in what's going on. I'm gonna head downstairs where I can give you guys some commentary on. And again, this is my opinion, my thoughts. When initially you talk to people everywhere from the builder, well, now they cut the chainsaw off after I'm walking away, that the cost is cheaper, and a lot of things, like I said, it is not cheaper. Like your appliances here, because of the VAT here in the Philippines and the taxes they put on it. I mean, simple things like we're looking at appliances for the kitchen right now. We're looking at the simple things like your ovens. If you want one with a gas burner, if you want a decent size, an 80 or a 90 out here, it gets pretty expensive, especially if you're getting a quality brand. It's because they don't have stock. Everything has to be ordered through the catalog. But when I came over, or before I came over, everybody tells me how cheap it was to live out here. And I thought, hey, no problem, sell my house in the U.S., and I'll have plenty of funds left over, sold, and my cars, man, all my personal belongings, whole family packed up, even took my dog, and we moved out here. And then the building started, and he started to see the cost. I mean, the thing that's cheap out here in the Philippines is when I say cheap, it's inexpensive. The labor out here, these guys work hard for their money. I mean, it's nothing compared to the U.S. prices, but it's what they pay, what everybody pays, and our builder actually pays a little bit more for his crew to keep his permanent crew on. They subcontract different parts of the jobs out, so like your roof. But I mean, it's just amazing, because when you get into a house and you want to have what I call dual paint, or they call dual glazed out here, these guys will tell you that you price it out, and you've got, like, it depends on the amount of windows. If you got a decent build out here size wise, it's going to cost you a ton of money. You're going to spend, some of these guys spend well over 1 million pesos out here for their windows. I know my neighbor spent more than that, because he's got in the 40s. I think it was 44 doors and windows in his house. And when you're going with a pretty decent quality window, it gets really expensive per window. So a lot of people don't. It doesn't really matter if you have a small build and you're only putting a couple windows in, you don't see that hit. But I was just surprised at how much everything out here costs. TVs, and the sales and stuff is not like they are in the U.S. I mean, it's not the big, like the Black Friday sales that you get back home, or at least you get big. If you're shopping a specific brand, you keep an eye on it, and you have a lot more resources. But it's amazing, because all this stuff comes from China, so you wonder why it's that way. I'm gonna watch these guys cut this tree, and we're gonna see how this stuff goes. But like I said before, I was surprised. Materials here, steels, tools, all that stuff, anything that you buy here is expensive. And you have to find these little specialty shops, and you got to make your local connections in order to make that happen. Unless you've just got a lot of money. If you got a boatload of money, you don't worry about it, because at that time it's just, money's no object, so you don't worry about it. But like I said, just be warned, guys, that if you're planning to come out here and retire, I mean, Philippines is still a great place to retire. The weather's fantastic out here most of the time. But also got to understand that the costs are a lot more than what I had expected, or maybe it was me because I didn't do my enough research and homework properly. But everything is just coming to a new country. There's a lot of hidden costs that you don't see till you get on site and have stuff done. It's just it's one of those things that you have to factor in, and it's hard to put a price on it, because guys ask me all the time what the cost of my house is, and I want a quality build. I mean, I want to have a comfortable, super secure. And you got to understand, after you get through, you're going to have a concrete steel house, with your amenities that you want. It's like right now I'm focusing on my network and stuff, and we're lucky because we actually we're in one of the subdivisions that have a decent internet connection, which is PLDT, and I'm able to get some decent speeds out here. Because like I said, I got 7 people in my family, and when they start hooking up the TVs and you're talking about all the smartphones, you're talking about the iPads, you're talking about all the computers that are being run, especially with the kids going to school online now and stuff. If you don't have that, you're going to struggle, and those are things, again, that you got to factor in. I mean, just buying a computer, I had to buy 2 computers for my son, and I helped my brother-in-law out because he's still going to school, and I wanted to be able to give him something, tell him thank you for all the help that he's been providing me. And we went on and got some really low-end computers, but they were still expensive. I mean, I could have got those in the States, especially if I was bargain shop. I could have got them a heck of a lot cheaper. And you look at security systems with the cameras and stuff. Again, I mean, all your big brands, your Hikvisions, your cameras that are out here, your Unifies, all of them, they still have availability out here, but you're paying top dollar for it. And if you're shopping, for example, if you're shopping gun prices for a deal, like, I want something for the house for home protection, even though, let me make that clear, foreigners are not allowed to own a gun, but your wife is, if she's Filipina. I mean, I was in there talking to a guy about some Glocks, man. The G34s, were running over 1,300 American U.S. dollars, and I was that's crazy. That's close to being double the price that you're paying in the United States for the same exact weapon. And I'm going to start checking in some of the 870s or 1187s just for home protection. We'll keep it in the house, but it's just I was just amazed at the prices. And then you have to register for the ammo. You can't just walk into the store and purchase ammo. I mean, you gotta be registered for it, and you have to have it for a registered handgun. You just can't walk in as a Filipino citizen and make those purchases. So that's something else you have to factor in. And enough of me ranting on about the prices and stuff, but you can see here that they're actually putting my neighbor's fence, Ains's fence, to finish with this side here on this wall. They're measuring to make sure that they stay back from the sidewalk proper length, because we've got restrictions here that we have to follow, which is fine. We just want to make sure we're right. And we can only go up so high on the actual height of the concrete, the solid portion of the wall, and then they restrict your overall length here. And in this particular subdivision, where other subdivisions don't have those restrictions, and if you don't live in an HOA, you don't have to worry about any of that. But and I understand the purpose behind it, because they don't want these houses with these 10-foot walls with that look like small prisons out here. And unfortunately, sometimes you almost need something like that with the recent crime we've had out here lately, unfortunately. But you can see Ainsley's got they've got the carpenter's starting to put the doors in. I was watching them this morning do some planing to get the doors all squared up and get that nice fit. So you can see his is coming along. He expects to move in, get his permit and stuff, and get that taken care of real soon. But you can see where the glass is actually now in, except with the one exception of his doors on that one kitchen that has to be redone because it wasn't done properly. So they have to reorder. And it's not like going down to the local place and local hardware store and, you know, hey, I'll take some of these. You got to order it. It's got to come. Got to be manufactured. Got to be processed out the site. And our builder actually does quite a bit of business with these other builds and stuff. So you would think he would get a priority, but it's not that way. We're really struggling with the roof for our house because we want a particular color on the roof. One to match our windows, and I found a place that I actually love their material. It's called XL Roof. I love the material on the roof, but they only come in color black, and black would be great if you got a white house with black windows, and you know. But for me, that's not my original design, at least not yet. You know, who knows? Things may change, but that's a that's very, very important for us, is to make sure we get what we want. I would have loved to have a nice tile roof, but the cost is double over a metal roof. A little cheaper, but it's one of the places I decided that I could cut the cost on, and then turn around and reinvest that savings into the inside of the house, in the kitchen area and stuff. And then we were shopping for furniture, and I could not believe to find, just flat out, I was looking at a Lazy Boy the other day because that's what I had at the house there, and forget about it. That thing was 70,000 pesos for just one standalone lazy chair recliner, and it was just like, whoa, you know. But that's the way things are, man. Take care, Dave. There's our builder heading out to his other job site. Busy man, stays busy all the time. So anyway, folks, if I rambled on too much, man, I'll apologize for that, but I just wanted to share my thoughts, because you get too many people that paint these pictures of how inexpensive it is and how cheap it is to live out in the Philippines. And it can be. If you've got a small, you've got a 75 square meter or 100 square meter house, and you just got a basic box with some windows and a door, and that's the lifestyle that you fits into yours and you enjoy, man, you're right, that's awesome. And if you can eat the Filipino cuisine, all of it, I mean, you can live cheap, but it's and it depends on where you live at too. If you live close to the coast, I mean, you're going to get a lot more fresh fish and more variety at a much lower cost than you do when you live in the bigger cities that are a little bit away from the water. But it's, Philippines are all islands. I mean, you got 7,000 plus islands here. So stuff should be, you'd think, would be readily available at a low price, but it's not. I mean, even the vegetables. I mean, we look at all the different types of vegetables that are here, and I actually sneak into there's a chain of stores called SNR, which is their version of like a Costco Sam's that I sneak in and shop in, and probably once a month, and get my American stuff that I crave. My little cereals and my Frosted Flakes, and the actual real homogenized milk. I mean, that I'm used to drinking, and it's just a matter of what you've grown up with. So, and then some of your steaks and stuff. If you want to get some steaks out there, that's awesome too. So we're gonna call it a day today for what I'm sharing with you folks, and just wanted to say thank you again for the support. And you have any comments? Just go ahead and leave them in that section. And like I said, I try to get back to the requests that I can. I try to get to and reply back and provide the what documentation I can. I'm not the construction expert. I constantly go to my builder for answers. Not only me, but I see a lot of other people that do this, that hit Dave up too for advice on what's needed. Because like I said, he's built all around the world, and he's a sharp guy. So thank you again, and stay safe, and God bless you guys.